selectively targeting this particular business suggests that the intent is to close it. That's my takeaway from it.
Well, what happened is we got misinformation. Things were happening, we didn't know about it. The building inspector says he didn't know about it. We wondered what was going on, so we investigated. And that's what brought it up. Yes, sir.
I spoke with Chris on 2 occasions, Don Hay. And I was very specific with my questions. I asked him, when Mr. Adamski came to you with his permit, was everything in order? He said yes. I said, now when his construction began, were you observing what was going on? He said yes. I said, did he stop at every point that was required for an additional inspection? He said yes. I says, was the town board aware of what he was doing? He says, well, not exactly. I don't report everything to them. Wait a second. He said, I'm not required to report everything to him all the time. Quarterly, I submit all the building permits. Is that the way you see he's supposed to have done that?
I think that might have been part of the problem.
I'm not asking if it was part of the problem. Is that the way he is? Is that the way he's supposed to operate?
I don't know. He's the building inspector. I know.
Well, he tells me it is.
Okay.
So according to him, everything Dean did was on board with him, and he's the code enforcement officer. So he has the qualifications to make that decision, correct?
I guess.
Well, there's no guessing about it.
I don't know.
He's in that seat over there. He's the code enforcement officer. I mean, can you do that? Is that your job?
We'd like to know what's going on, yeah.
I think a lot of people in this room would like to know what's going on.
Is there anyone else? Yes, sir.
George Curtis again. Who in particular introduced this on your group here? Or was it from some other source?
We wanted to re-look at this whole legislation. We wanted to look at it again. We worked with the planning board.
Was there a key person that said that they wanted this looked at? Or was it?
The board did.
So otherwise, you started with disagreement with this gentleman was your premise. You were in disagreement with this gentleman here is your premise from this whole thing. He said that they were in compliance with everything that he needs to do.
Okay.
So all of a sudden you jump to this next phase because you were in disagreement with what he was doing?
Because we didn't see eye to eye on what the law said. We have to do something. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Yes, sir?
As town supervisor, I would think that you're responsible to make sure that it's properly organized, proper communication, and what have you. It almost sounds like you're stepping back and saying, I'm not responsible. Are you responsible or are you not responsible? And if this gentleman was told that he was in compliance right along, I would say that, I would think that he's met the compliance requirements.
Okay.
As town supervisor, are you responsible?
I'm responsible for everything. If it snows, I'm responsible. Yeah. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I guess the gentleman here, when he brought up about inquiring, was there a complaint? And then we have another gentleman asking, was it someone maybe with the planning board or the building inspector or, you know, the board? I guess people would like to clarify, was there a complaint from an individual outside, you know, the Alden government here, or did it come from inside?
I don't even recall. It's been over years. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Yes, sir?
I'd just like to make a comment before we close this out. If a code enforcement officer says, Dean's okay, we got an attorney over there. I read the letter he sent you, folks, by the way. He says everything's in order. He gives you case law citing certain cases that support Dean's position. Are we saying Ms. Strong has told you differently legally?
No. I've talked to his attorney. I've talked to Mr. Dansky. We've had conferences.
Seems to be a preponderance of the evidence to me.
There seems to be a problem with the law, and that's what we're trying to fix.
Seems to be a preponderance of the evidence that folks up there, are wrong, and these gentlemen know what's going on, and Dean's being raked over the coals on this.
Okay. He's not raked over the coals. He's in business. He stays in business. That's fine.
His business is not in jeopardy then?
No, no.
He'll be there 5 years from now?
If he wants to be, yeah.
Right where he is?
Right where he is.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home occupation permit? Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor or against the home? Yes, ma'am.
Tony Moore, Westwood Road in Alden. Are you gonna put that in writing?
You got something for me?
No, would you put that in writing that Dean and Nancy will not be put out of business?
He will not be put out of business. You got 2 cameras on me. And
Good, I'm gonna hold you to that.